something about horses, especially paint. Whenever I see horses, reminds me of what I ain't.
Hoof boots, novel idea. Been around since the 70s. Problem is, for every attribute, you had all these deficits. Where if I tell you that has changed? This is the Gladiator-X professional hoof boot system. It will not twist, mitigates rubbing. You can leave them on for long durations, 24/7, weeks, even months at a time. I'm Rick Huffman, founder of Maverick Enterprises. I developed the workforce feeder about 4 years ago, and I spent the last 3 years developing the Gladiator-X professional hoof boot system. So why did I develop this system? Well, necessity being the mother of invention, I had to. I needed a boot that I could leave on 24/7 for therapeutic applications for one of my horses. I spent the last 25 years developing products for the law enforcement military sector and reality-based training, use of force training applications. So I know a little bit about product durability. How does it work? Well, it's unique. It's a brand new concept. You build it, you fit it to your horse. First of all, you start off with a capsule. You buy the capsule. Now, why would you do that? Well, think of it this way. There's shoers and there's booters. A shoer starts off buying a keg shoe from another company, and he adds nails and clips and bars and pads, and he does his thing. A true booter will start off with a poly capsule. Now, this poly capsule is offered by Easy Care, reputable boot company, well known. It's been out for a while, but this particular capsule is referred to their glue-on. So it's a disposable item, just like the keg shoe is a disposable item. But the difference is, you choose the capsule to fit your horse, we provide everything else. This is a one-size-fits-all. The capsules, you have 20 different sizes currently in regulars and wides, from double aughts all the way up to number 5s. How do you choose the right size capsule? Check out our series of videos. We'll send you templates free of charge. You can make your own patterns, and we'll show you how to do it. Now, how does it work? Well, the important aspect is the support strap. It's a 1,000-pound test nylon, and it's a continuous strap. It starts off here in the front of the poly capsule. The poly capsule is modified, the strap is laced through. Now, why would you lace it through the poly capsule? Because you want to hold that poly capsule tight against the hoof wall. Now, why would you want to do that? It's a poly capsule. It's going to expand. Regardless how much friction tape or how big of a hammer you have to beat this thing on, or how many other little poly straps you put on the outside, it's an elastomer. It's going to stretch. It's going to stretch due to dynamic force, and then you couple that with thermal changes like heat, it's going to expand. So instead of having a friction or interference fit to hope that this stays on, we're going to have another system, and that's what I've created here. This nylon strap, it doesn't stretch, so it's laced through the capsule, and it prevents it from elongating. A continuous strap crisscrosses here in the front, comes through, underneath between the sole and the boot, comes out the back, crisscrosses here at the heel, around in low profile around the pastern, through the slip anchors that are attached to the hoof capsule, and around the rear of the heel. We call this the caudal pad, and it attaches with a slip buckle. We use a slip buckle to ensure security. We don't use the hook and loop anymore. It just doesn't hold up. Okay, we have the crisscross here, the crisscross there, and the crisscross in the back. This one in the back is very important. We have a patent application for this design. Why is this important? Well, think of this system here. We call it a rigging. Everything on top here is the rigging. We also have components on the inside, which I'll address here in a while. But going back to the back crisscross here, and the reason why that's important, because this is the area that's going to prevent this capsule from rotational twist. As the capsule attempts to rotate either side, it binds up here. Think of it like a Chinese finger trap. As this attempts to rotate, this will actually bind up on the heel bulb. Now one would naturally think, well, you're going to get rubbing back here. That's not the case. Rubbing occurs when you have a seesaw action. This whole rigging, incidentally, is designed to be fastened very firmly around the soft tissue of the distal limb. We can only do that if it travels with the foot during dynamic action. So you'll notice where that strap is, it attaches right here approximately where the dip joint is. That's that point of articulation where the P2 and the P3 meet. So even though this is on here tight, it stays with the foot. So you mitigate rubbing by eliminating a seesaw action. This area back here actually pulsates. Another important feature of this overall system is what's on the inside. Now what we have on the inside is what we refer to as the dampening inner sole and the frog support system. It's attached to the capsule via a poly anchor strap. That's important because we take the boots off, we throw them in a pile, we don't want to lose parts and pieces, so it stays attached. We flip it out, it's easy to clean out. The nice thing about the dampening inner sole is the material that it's made from. It's natural gum rubber. It's a low profile, approximately 1/8 of an inch thick. It doesn't squish flat and it has good return. And the problem with flat bottom boots is peripheral loading. So with the frog support kit, what it does is it allows you to provide stimulation to the frog region. You can add or subtract. The kit comes with 4 individual 1/16 inch thick pieces. So we can add or subtract to get a proper pressure element to our frog region. Another important feature is the venting characteristics. Since the capsule is modified, and you can see our boot building video for how to do that, but we have these elongated holes. And then what I did is I vented the dampening inner sole. And what you'll find that happens is that as the boot is used on the horse for an extended period of time, you'll pop this off, you'll see only a minimum amount of moisture. And the reason is because this kind of acts like a bellows. As the foot moves, it dissipates the air around the hoof wall and the sole, and it helps minimize the amount of moisture trapped inside this boot capsule. So what's the downside? Well, all honesty, it's brand new. It's a new concept, which means we need more data. Now, I'm confident to introduce this to the market as is. I had to have a good foundation. It took me 3 years to get to this point. So what does that mean? Well, there may be some tweaks. There may be some slight changes. But that's where information from you folks that comes in will help in determining what those little tweaks and changes may be. But since we have a no-twist design and no rubbing we can leave on for long durations, it changes things. Now we have a system that we can pop on and take off as we need it, kind of like our own footwear. Kind of like we're playing football, we're going to put on cleats. We play basketball, we're going to put on basketball shoes. Same thing applies to this capsule. So now we can put on cleats for traction in the arena, or we can put on sliders for the reiners, for the rear end for sliding. So the possibilities are unlimited, but we had to have a good foundation to start with. Can't twist, can't rub, and it's got to be able to be left on there for long durations of time, and you have to have the confidence that this is not going to come off, it's not going to twist, it's not going to cause a wreck. This is where you start, the Gladiator-X Professional Hoof Boot System.